What we know is that the EU's worse policies, its more neoliberal policies, have in fact been contributed to by Britain. It seems clear that the EU is a neoliberal, it is a capitalist institution. It comes with many of the problems of contemporary capitalism and its institutions. But the question on the table, I think, is what are the options? If you want to leave the EU, which is the sort of left, so-called Lexit or left Brexit position, then one would do so for something that is not neoliberal and that is not capitalist and that does allow for greater democratic say. But the options that Brexit has put forward are, I'm afraid, not that. It is a question, I think, of staying within the EU and actually being able to reform it from within, or returning to Britain, where Brexit is an extremely ideologically driven, deeply neoliberal in some ways, a free market disaster capitalist project. So it seems to me that there are many problems with the EU, and nobody who's progressive can deny that there are problems with the EU. But the question is, what is the alternative? And if you leave the EU, you're not actually doing that for greater democracy or for greater social justice. You're actually capitulating to what is what I would definitely describe as a far-right project, both economically and socially.
Are you calling for a second referendum?
Let me phrase this carefully. I think that any deal that Parliament comes up with today, whether that is a soft Brexit, whether that is no Brexit, whether that is a hard Brexit, or whether, in fact, it is no deal, I think that the decision should be returned to the British people. And I say this for two reasons. I think that any deal that substantially changes Britain's relationship with the EU should, in an exercise of democratic rights, be returned to the people for a vote. I also say it because I think there are very serious questions about the Leave campaign's role in the first referendum, and there are questions about the extent of disinformation and extent of electoral problems, to put it very mildly, were electoral breaking of electoral regulations by the Leave campaign in the lead up to the 2016 referendum. So it seems to me quite important to take these essentially life-altering decisions back to the British people.